good morning, brothers and sisters. A warm welcome to BF. With my mask on, is this okay? Can you all hear me speak, or would you prefer me to? It's all good? Okay, thank you. Good morning, everyone. My name is Lisa, and I'll be the MC for today to kind of like facilitate the session. So I think without further ado, shall we get into Anjali position? And we will do the opening puja first this morning before we have announcements and introduce the speaker for today. So let us go into Anjali and do the opening puja. Salutation to the Triple Gem. Let us pay respects to the Triple Gem. Arahang Samma Sambuddho Bhagava Buddhang Bhagavantam Abhivademi. First bow. Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo Dhammang Namasami. Second bow. Supatipano Bhagavato Sawaka Sangho Sangham Namami. Third bow. Offerings. Let us put our palms together to partake in the offerings to the Buddha. The offering of the 5 items allows us to express our gratitude to the Buddha and serves as a symbol to help us remember his teachings. Let's join wholeheartedly and read the verses together. Offering of light. Light symbolizes wisdom. May the light of Dhamma dispel the darkness of ignorance. Offering of incense. Incense symbolizes the fragrance of pure moral conduct. This reminds us to cultivate good conduct. Offering of water. Water symbolizes purity, clarity, and calmness. It reminds us to practice the Buddha's teachings, to cleanse one's mind, which is full of desires, ill will, and delusion, to attain the state of purity. Offering of fruits. Fruits symbolize the ultimate fruit of enlightenment, which is our goal. They also remind us that all actions will have their effects. Offering of flowers. Flowers symbolize impermanence. The freshness, fragrance, and beauty of flowers are impermanent. This reminds us that we should all live in the present. Remembering thus, we should reduce our craving and attachment. Preliminary homage to the Buddha. Let us pay homage to the Buddha. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Going for refuge. We chant the verses for taking the 3 refuges. Buddhang saranang gacchami, Dhammang saranang gacchami, Sanghang saranang gacchami, Dutiyampi Buddhang saranang gacchami, Dutiyampi Dhammang saranang gacchami, Dutiyampi Sanghang saranang gacchami, Tatiyampi Buddhang saranang gacchami, Tatiyampi Dhammang saranang gacchami, Tatiyampi Sanghang saranang gacchami. The 5 precepts. We chant these verses to observe the 5 precepts. Panatipata Viramani Sikapadang Samadhiyami, Adinadana Viramani Sikapadang Samadhiyami, Kamesu Miccachara Viramani Sikapadang Samadhiyami, Musawada Viramani Sikapadang Samadhiyami, Surameraya Majapamadatana Viramani Sikapadang Samadhiyami. Recollection of the Buddha. Let us recollect the sublime qualities of the Buddha. Iti piso bhagawa arahang samma sambuddho vijjacharana sampanno sugato lokavidu anuttaro purisa dhamma sarati satta deva manusanang buddho bhagavati. Recollection of the Dhamma. Let us recollect the sublime qualities of the Dhamma. Swakato bhagavata dhammo sanditiko akaliko ehipasiko opanaiko pacattam veditabo vinyuhiti. Recollection of the Sangha. Let us recollect the sublime qualities of the Sangha. Supatipanno bhagavato sawaka sangho Ujjupatipanno bhagavato sawaka sangho Nyaya patipanno bhagavato sawaka sangho Samici patipanno bhagavato sawaka sangho Yadidang chattari purisa yugani atta purisa pugala esa bhagavato sawaka sangho Ahuneyo pahuneyo dakineyo anjali karaniyo anuttaram punyaketang lokasati. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Please be seated while I go through some announcements to share with you from BF. Okay. First up, will be, this is the lineup that we have for November. I think most of you would have also received the email on this. If not, you can also refer to our posters outside at the office there. So today we will have Dr. Ng to give us a talk on meditation. And then next week we will have Sister Sylvia Bay as well. So this is the lineup for the 4 Sundays in November. Next. We also have programs for BF Youth. So the next one is happening on the 19th of November as well as 22nd of November. So for Indonesian service, which is on the 20th November, this is to be held on site. Next. So we also have programs for BF Junior Youth. These are for youths who are aged 13 to 16. So next one coming up is next Saturday on the 12th of November. And there is also a BF Junior Youth Camp that's happening on 3rd to 5th December. So we are taking registrations currently, and there is an early bird discount. Normally the price is $50, but we have extended the early bird discount, which is at $40, until next Sunday. So for those who are interested, for youths who are interested, please do sign up before Sunday in order to enjoy the early bird rates. Next, we have even younger still for BF juniors, aged 7 to 12. We have talks on Sundays. Next Sunday at 10:30 to 12 at Rochana Room. Next. This one applies to all adults who are BF members. BF is conducting an extraordinary general meeting next Sunday, right after the Sunday service. It's at 12:45 to 1:30. So the EOGM is to get support from BF members with regards to the purchase of the BF home. So do join us for this event. Just to take note that everyone who are BF members are welcome to attend. However, in terms of the voting, it's only applicable to BF members who have joined since 13 November 2021 last year. So there needs to be a minimum duration of 12 months active member to vote in the EOGM. And following the EOGM, which ends around 1:30, please stay back on for the EOGM party. Yep. I think even though we put it at 2 o'clock, but this is going to happen right after the EOGM ends. So do join us to find out more about the new building plans and updates on the BF new home. It's going to be an exciting lineup of programs at the party. Next. At end of November, Bante Sunyo will be flying over to BF all the way from Bodhinyana, Perth, to share with us some Dhamma talks. So it's happening on Friday, 25th November evening, all the way until Sunday, when he will join us for the Sunday service talk. So importantly, on Sunday, Bante Sunyo will be conducting a one-day meditation retreat at BF. So if you would like to join the session, Saturday, 26th November, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., please register through the Eventbrite link given here. For Friday's talk and Sunday's talk, this will be held on site, but no registration is required. Just come to BF on site. It's just the meditation on Saturday that requires you to register through Eventbrite. So please come. Next one would be in the first Sunday of December, Ayah Upeka will be at BF Fellowship to give a talk. So this is going to be held at 2 o'clock to 4 p.m. But at 11 a.m. on Sunday, you are welcome to bring lunch dana for Ayah Upeka and then stay back to join in her talk and listen to her Dhamma talk on how effective is dedication of merits to our departed loved ones. And then the next session that she will be giving a talk as well is on Thursday, 8th of December. It's an evening talk at 7:30 to 9:30. So this will be on meditation and Q&A. So do join Ayah Upeka on Sunday, 4th December, as well as Thursday, 8th of December. Next. Last but not least, importantly, everyone probably is aware already by now that BF is building our home somewhere around Lavender area. So please join us and support the building of this new home by making a donation through the following options. So I just want to bring your attention to this website that we have created specially on to share with you updates with regards to the BF new home. If you look at the bottom line there, the last line, the URL is provided and it's called bfdhammahome.org. So it's a separate website. However, if you have some difficulty in remembering this website, you can still go to BF's usual website and there will be a link that brings you to this bfdhammahome.org. But we hope to have your support and do make contributions so that we can build our new home soon. Okay, so next up, we will be going into the talk proper, and I am very pleased to welcome Dr. Ng Wai Chong. Dr. Ng Wai Chong is a medical doctor and founder and CEO of a social enterprise providing clinical and developmental services for aging-related causes. He's the guru on anything on aging. He has been an active volunteer with the NUS Medical Dhamma Circle since 1988 and is the vice president of Cakrawala Meditation Center. He studies the Dhamma and meditation under Sayalay Dipankara, a disciple of the Venerable Pa Auk Sayadaw. Let us put our palms together and give a very warm welcome to Dr. Ng. Dr. Ng?
Good morning. Morning. So we'll do a bit of meditation first. Then after that, we will discuss about last few months' meditation practices, and then we'll do a guided meditation on Casina. But I'll explain first. Then after that, we'll Q&A again. Okay. So we just do 5 to 10 minutes to relax ourselves, to prepare our mind, so that we can connect better with the truth as taught by the Buddha. Okay. So let's close our eyes. Okay, and then make a determination in our minds for the next 5 to 10 minutes. Let us put aside all the thoughts and concerns we have related to past events and the future. Just put them aside and let us be fully present and worthy of the moment, for the moment. Okay. And may our heart be open for the Dhamma, respectfully, with gratitude, and with joy. Let us begin by relaxing ourselves systematically, starting from the top of our head. Feel the muscles on our scalp. Feel the muscles soft and flowing as if they are melting around our skull, feeling the muscles on our forehead soft and supple, releasing all the tension, especially in between our eyebrows, for they get tensed up without ourselves realizing sometimes. So let us just relax the muscles around the forehead, at the temples, at the back of our head, and allow the muscles to flow down the face, down the facial bones, around the mouth, at the jaw, all the way down to the neck, releasing all its tension around the vertebral spine, allowing the neck to become free and settled into its natural, slightly curved position, natural, comfortable. And feel the muscles at our shoulders, releasing all its tension, becoming like melted butter, flowing, releasing all its heat and tension, flowing down the arms at the sides of the body, all the way to the elbows, allowing the arms to rest and let it gravitate naturally downwards by their own weights. And the forearms, feel the muscles very soft, flowing to the wrists, the hands, all the way to the fingertips, as if they are almost falling off the bones. And at our chest, feel the muscles soft, flowing, releasing their grip on our rib cage. And the lungs just breathe naturally, freely, at its own natural pace. A meditator is a mere observer of the natural phenomenon, relinquishing all controls, judgment, participation. Feel the muscles flowing down to the abdomen and the small of our backs. And perhaps you may even have a vision of the internal organs. Can feel all the organs resting one on top of the other, like ropes and pillows stacked in the cabinet, restful, comfy, cozy. Feel the muscles around the pelvis, soft, flowing, the thighs, the knees, the calves, the ankles and the feet. Feel all the muscles flowing, almost dripping all the way to the floor. The whole body anchored, plastered onto the floor, propped up by faith and inspiration, and the desire to connect with the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. Upright and confident, but not proud. Humble, respectful, owning. Have a vision of ourselves seated on a cushion, Let this vision be stable, naturally, with friendliness from our hearts, pervading throughout our bodies. Let's call it love. May I be free from danger. May I be free from mental suffering. Holding the image in our minds, softly, gently, surely. May I be free from physical suffering. Even as we wish wellness and health for ourselves, let every cell in the body accept every ounce of love from our hearts. And may I be well and happy, take care of myself happily, and allow the mind to expand and take in all our friends in this hall. Even with the eyes closed, the mind can see. It is as if someone switched on the light in a dark room and we can see a hall of people. It doesn't matter where we see the people from. It can be at the top, it can be behind, it can be in front. For when the mind is pure, it is very wieldy, versatile, intuitive, bright and clear. May all my friends in this Dhamma hall be free from danger, be free from mental suffering, be free from physical suffering, and may all of us be well and happy. And allow the mind to even broaden beyond the confines of this hall, as if we can see through walls and see far, penetrating the walls, visualizing people in this estate, in their apartments, at the bus stops, in the buses, in the cars, walking on the streets, at the food centers. People going about their daily businesses. May all people, regardless of race, language, religion, men or women, young or old, rich or poor, may all people in this neighborhood be free from danger, be safe, be free from mental suffering, be free from physical suffering, and be well and happy. And allow the mind to expand even wider, expanding, embracing the whole of Southeast Asia, across the cities, the countryside, the mountains and the hills, the valleys, the oceans, regardless of nationalities, language, race, religion. May all people in Southeast Asia be free from danger, be free from mental suffering, be free from physical suffering, and may all of us be well and happy. At this moment, the mind is like the light of the moon, shining on all beings in Southeast Asia. And let us embrace the whole earth. The whole earth, the blue planet, the beings in the oceans, the beings on the land masses, humans, animals, and beings not visible to the naked eye. May all beings on earth be free from danger, be free from mental suffering, be free from physical suffering, be free from all calamities, troubles. Be well and happy. And let the mind expand beyond the mere earth, across the whole space, the infinite space. All beings, humans, animals, ghosts, hell beings, asuras, devas, brahmas, enlightened, not enlightened, male, females. May all beings in this whole universe, across limitless space, be free from danger, be free from mental suffering, be free from physical suffering, and may all beings be well and happy. And gently bring the mind back to this body, feeling the body again, soft, supple, upright. Feel the mind peaceful, joyful, and make a determination for the rest of the day. May I remain mindful and relaxed, and we can open our eyes. May I know who among you attended the meditation on 4 elements here about 3 months ago? Who were here? Okay. Who were here for the 32 parts of the body? Okay, so same group of people. And last month, Brother Beng Hok's Anapanasati. Okay, thank you. So today we are doing Kasina. There is a connection. Those who practice 4 elements, any questions or feedback you'd like to share? Anyone? How was the practice? Have you been practicing the 4 elements? No, huh? Yeah, 4 elements is best to practice in a retreat where you spend weeks. Each element may be a day. Each aspect of the 12 characteristics of the 4 elements may be spending a day. Sometimes we can spend a few sessions, but some people a few days. So generally, you need to take some time to be familiar with the characteristics, and then subsequently, we need to do all 12 characteristics of the 4 elements together and do it quickly at a right pace. It's maybe 1 hour you can do 2 rounds, and then gradually increase the space so that you can still get the feeling of the characteristics, and yet you can move on to the next one. Okay. Then when you do that sufficiently, there is a dynamic samadhi. When there is a dynamic samadhi means stillness of the mind. So it's still and yet dynamic. So when it is still and dynamic, it's like we are in a zone. You must have experienced it in your work or when you dance or when you sing. Okay, so it's similar to that one. So or chanting. So there's this dynamic samadhi. So when you do that, the mind can become very bright. And when it's very bright, the mind is very malleable, very wieldy, very flexible, very intuitive. It can see many things. So the body becomes like transparent, and then if you want to see the head hair, body hair, nails, skin, muscles, teeth, sinews, bones, it become very easy. And that's when we do 32 parts of the body. So those who do 32 parts of the body, have you been practicing? Anyone been practicing 32 parts of the body? You have? Oh, very good. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. How was the practice?
Just for 5 minutes before I sit further on my breathing meditation. So just go through the process.
Yes, that's very good. Yeah. So all the Buddha's samatha objects, meditation objects, they even without having deep concentration, they are very beneficial. The 32 parts of the body, even if you just go through, head hair, body hair, teeth, nails, skin, we actually come to terms with the banality, of the human bodies. It's really just, all these things of mine, yours, me, him, her, is vanity, You can actually, if you do enough, you can just feel that feeling. So sometimes we comb ourselves, we dress properly. It's really a kind of both a respect for others, but sometimes it can also be, related to some kind of conceit. But it's okay, we're not enlightened. So, but if you do enough 32 parts of the body, you actually start to feel the body is just something that arises out of nature. Nothing beautiful in it. And in fact, if you don't wash it, it is disgusting. And if you look deeply, it is just like kway chap, So it's still very useful. So we do 32 parts. Then after that, we just feel, okay lah, it's like that. Coming to terms with this. Nothing good or bad about it. Gradually, because next month we're going to do death. So we need to take all this in as part of nature. Okay. So also 32 part body is just like that. And then once the mind becomes more modest, more humble, more natural, then this mind is very good for practicing the breath meditation. So similarly, breath meditation helps us to gradually let go of all this buffet, okay? Then very happy with just plain water, okay? And this plain water, then we find joy in plain water, and which is simple breath, which is a good state of mind for subsequent practice. Okay, so since there are no questions, I'll go on to talk about Kasina meditation. So traditionally, we practice Kasina using, there are 10 ways you can practice Kasina. The 4-color Kasina, the 4 natural things, and then the 6 natural things. The 4 colors, the white color, usually what we were taught is when you do 32 parts of the body, you will like one of them, okay? Some of us like skeleton, because skeleton looks fascinating, then it's like, oh, very stable. Then it's very bright, as if like fluorescent tubes. Then stay there for a long time. After that, the teacher will say, okay, use the white color and expand to the whole universe. And then after you expand to the whole universe, you just put your mind, place it on the part of the universe that is white here, and just stay there like you were doing anapanasati. Okay? So that's white Kasina. Some people, they just do this and they look at the fat. Oh, so disgusting, but it's very interesting. Okay? It's disgusting, but I cannot take my eyes off it. Okay, then you just keep looking at the fat. Then the fat becomes really, really, really fascinating, and you're there for like an hour. Okay, then you can use the yellow color to do yellow Kasina. Some of us like blood, okay, especially blood that is coming out from the heart, and that is bright red. If you go to the doctor, they take your blood, that is black color, that is venous blood. You can also use that for red Kasina, but I like to use the bright color, because bright color, bright red, like this one, oxygenated blood, saturation oxygen 98%. Okay, so you can use this red color. Then fascinated. This fascination is very useful. Curiosity, joy, happiness, fascination, all these are useful mind state. Make use of them for meditation. Okay, gratitude, respect is very useful. Meditation is the habituation of the mind to keep it wholesome for a long time. The object is not the most important thing. Whether it's red Kasina, yellow Kasina, more importantly is the mind. If the mind is very wholesome continuously, you can take, like, this is a space. You can even use this as a space for space Kasina. So it is the mind that is most important. So you can take, but if you're fascinated by the color of the blood, then take that as the red color and then expand to the whole universe. After you expand the whole universe, the body is so relaxed, but this is not yet the practice. After you expand the whole universe, take the part in front and then just keep telling yourself, red, red, red. It's different from anapanasati. Anapanasati, the breath is here, then the mind is here. The deeper the concentration, the breath becomes brighter, clearer, and closer and smaller. And the mind becomes smaller and closer and smaller. Sometimes you perceive that your nose is behind you. Okay? But if you perceive that way, you're already out of the concentration. So don't need to play. Okay? So, but for red Kasina or yellow or white, you just look at it in front. Then it's just red, 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 red. So all the whole universe you let go, only the red color, and then just stay and let the mind like fall in love with it. When you fall in love with it, it doesn't matter where is it, and the mind is just red, 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 red. So at the beginning of concentration, you need to think. The English word think connotes restless thinking. It doesn't mean that, okay? Think means the mind striking. The mind need to think on it. Think. But not discursive thinking. Your mind need to think on it, but in a very peaceful, gentle way, okay? Then gradually, nothing else, only red. What about brown Kasina? So if you read translation, sometimes they call it blue Kasina, sometimes you call it brown Kasina. I'm not very good in Pali words, but I understand brown and blue is the same Pali term. In where I learn, we use the body color, so there's nothing blue except my shirt. So the brown comes from our iris or our hair. Okay, so you can focus on your hair, and then you just take the color and expand. You can also use this color. Okay, red color you can use this. White color you can use this. Yellow color you can use the pair or the uniform of our Buddhist fellowship volunteers. Okay, so even Ang Ku Kueh, okay, you know when I observed my teacher in the interview, there's a Penang auntie who speaks Mandarin only and then go through translation. Actually not Mandarin, Penang Hokkien. So whether you're literate or illiterate, highly educated or poorly educated, it doesn't really matter. So you take the object that gives you joy. So to her it's ang ku kueh or pineapple. So use that pineapple yellow and then expand. Or ang ku kueh red and fill out the whole with ang ku kueh. Okay? Then you just expand. Then take off the ang ku kueh, just the red color. Okay? So this one can use for red, this one can use for white. Brown, you can use your hair, or you can use a cushion. So this is how we connect from 32 parts to Kasina. So it's all very natural, it can be in one sitting. So in the later part of the practice, when you want to go deep into understanding the 5 aggregates, internal, external, far, near, superior, all this as described in the Anatta Lakkhana Sutta, you need very deep concentration. So it is in 1 through train, You practice Anapanasati until very deep concentration, or you can do 4 elements until very deep concentration, then use it to shine onto your body to do the 32 parts, then skeleton, use a white color, go all the way to deep concentration, and then use that to begin the analysis of the material phenomenon, then mental phenomenon, internal, external, and so on. So we just sit down there. There's no need to move around to look for a white object or a red object. No need. It's all inside. And sometimes, if maybe you're in a forest as a monk or a nun, or maybe you're a farmer, then life is very simple, right? Wake up in the morning when the sun, just before sunrise, but your biological clock tells you to wake up. Then you go to the field and plow. And then suddenly you can see a patch of earth, very, very peaceful. You can close your eyes, and this earth, you can remove all the big rocks and the leaves and expand the earth across the whole universe and bring the mind to the part in front of you and then sing, this is Earth Kasina. Then what about water? I mean, if you were a farmer in a village, usually where do they get water from? The rivers, the streams, or well. So well water is very interesting because well water is very peaceful. Stream water, a lot of disturbance, right? So you can look at the well. It's like it's like the water here, but only you look from the top. So you can see well. Then you can take the water as the object, and then you just spread it across the whole universe, and then just take the part of the water in front of you, and keep telling yourself, water, water, water. Yeah. Fire. So when we want to cook, so they burn the wood fire, and there's a fire there. Sometimes fire can be mesmerizing. Mesmerizing is a good emotion also, okay? So mesmerized by the fire, then you close your eyes and the fire around the whole world. Okay? By now you should be able to tell meditation is not very intellectual. Okay? It's almost like art, but there is also not carried away. Yeah? It's very measured, it's very controlled. So you're fascinated by the fire, it's like a dance of the fire, and realize that this was what the Buddha taught, fire Kasina. Then maybe you recall the fire sermon. The fire worshippers have been doing fire Kasina for a long time, probably. Okay, I don't know whether they're doing fire Kasina, but they've been worshipping fire for a long time. If you worship fire very respectful, surely fire Kasina is very easy, because if the mind is very humble, very reverential, it meditates easily. Okay? And we fascinate on the fire, spread across the whole universe, mindful on the moment, and then you can attain to even the 8th jhana. All these Kasina you can. And then when the Buddha comes along, survive the cave, and talk about ear on fire, eyes on fire, with the Buddha in front of you, you can be enlightened easily, especially if you've been practicing fire Kasina. What about wind? Have you gone to for a holiday, maybe in the wilderness, and then it's very windy, and you're so happy? It's like that. So we're very happy with the wind. Maybe you can see the trees swaying, so you know there's wind. You cannot see wind, you can feel wind, but the feeling is 4 elements meditation. It's not the feeling, it is the wind that is causing this feeling, is the object of wind Kasina. So if you see the wind blowing like on a beautiful day, maybe Singapore, nowadays we don't get a lot of winds. Maybe in East Coast Park, you see the tree flowing, the wind blowing. Then you feel happy, and then you just take the wind as an object and spread it across the whole universe. That's wind, even if it's invisible. Okay, let the mind be wild. Okay, you can think about wind, wind, wind across the whole universe. Take the wind in front of you, and then just wind, wind, wind. Let the mind and the wind fall in love. Light. How do you perceive light? Imagine you're a forest monk. You're doing walking meditation. After lunch, very drowsy. So you're walking, and then between the trees, there is a piercing bright light from the sun behind the tree. It is not really blinding, but it's brilliant. And then you feel like this bright light is beautiful, it's fascinating. Then you can close your eyes and expand the bright light across the whole universe. All very, very bright. And then you just take the one in front. And same process. Most important thing is the mind, not the object. Respectful, calm, letting go of everything else, accept this, regard this as our conduit to the Buddha, to the Dhamma and the Sangha. And then just respectfully stay with the light. Light Kasina is a basis for the divine eye, or Abhinya. And space Kasina. So space Kasina, imagine you're a monk meditating in a cave. Then after sitting for mindful on the breath for a while, you open your eyes, you're very peaceful, and then you saw the entrance of the cave, and you can see, hey, this is a hole. This is space. Then you just feel curious about the space. Okay, it's interesting. I don't know about you, but sometimes after meditation, you open your eyes, you walk around, everything is fascinating. The leaves are bright and brilliant. Even, many years ago, I was in Batu Pahat. I saw a grasshopper. Wow, I just feel it's so beautiful. The mother must be proud, It's a funny feeling, but of course, the grasshopper is very ugly, but actually it's not. It's so, when you just come out of meditation, look at the grasshopper, so beautiful. So it's that kind of feeling. You look at the space, this is so interesting. Then close your eyes and expand the space across the whole universe. Take the space in front, and then just be happy with it. Okay, so all these are Kasina, depends on where your heart delights in. This delight I'm referring to is a wholesome type. It's like a child seeing space for the first time, like a child seeing light for the first time, like a old lady, after everything has been done, children are already grown up. Now the next phase of life is death. What do? Then whole life has been making food and ang ku kueh. Now suddenly somebody say, ang ku kueh, you can use it for meditation. Oh, really? Red color. Then just feel life is so meaningful. So by now you also know it's the mind. It's not the object, it's the mind. If our mind is like a child, but having a lot of inspiration, not forgetting our past suffering, full of respect for everyone, all beings, and very grateful for the fact that the Tathagata arose in the world 2,500 years ago and announced the ancient path. And it began with, of course, right view and virtue, and culminating in samadhi. And in the 4 Satipatthana Sutta, description of Anapanasati, until very peaceful, mindful on the 32 parts, 4 elements, 32 parts, and then skeleton, and then like a very wise chef, as described in Samyutta Nikaya, you don't keep going on. If you feel this is the right taste, take it. So you can see the skeleton, you like it, you take it. Then until very, very peaceful. But skeleton, you still need the mind to think of the skeleton, not peaceful enough. Let go of the skeleton, take the white color. Then you feel like concentration, like skeleton. But now without the contrived energy to keep thinking about the skeleton, now it's just white color, it's simpler, easier. You can let go of the thinking, and then the mind will just rise into this joy, but still completely absorbed. And then you realize joy is a little bit disturbing. Then you let go of the joy, and then you sink into bliss. Then you find that this bliss, this happiness is also a little bit disturbing. You let go of the bliss, and then you're frozen in ice. So you find that this ice is really very peaceful, and the mind becomes bright but not blinding. It's transparent, and then you can use it to analyze the 4 Satipatthana one by one. How the mind works is like that, like that, like that. It's triggered by contact, and every time there's contact, there's this conscious phenomenon happening, and they have a certain pattern to it. And then the consciousness arises and passes away immediately. They'll see like that, and then you see that they're all passing away so helplessly. Where did this come from? Then you start to recall and start to analyze the causes, and then you can understand dependent origination, samsara, karma, and then you start to have a lot of enlightenment about, what karma is like. It's really scary. And then you continue to practice, and you start to outgrow, like a child outgrowing from candies, from even the fascination of Casina. It's just a method, it's just a means to get the mind at ease in order to wake up from samsara. Let us practice. So maybe we'll do for 15 minutes. Okay. What color do you all like? Or what do? Earth, Singaporean, we don't see a lot of earth unless you go to the bushes, and we don't see earth. So let's not do earth. Any suggestion? Green. Actually, I think green is possible, but because it's not taught by the Buddha, so don't go there, don't need to go there. Yeah. Maybe we do white color, because I see a lot of people wearing white today. Okay, so similarly, we prepare our mind for meditation is better. Okay, I'll keep a clock. Wait. Maybe we'll do 20 minutes, then we have some time for discussion. Okay, let us sit upright. For the next 20 minutes, let us devote our mind and our bodies to the practice of Kasina, the white Kasina, taught by the Buddha. So let this be our connection with the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. Let the body remain light and supple, soft and gentle. Let the mind be peaceful, the mind at our hearts, like a lake when all the winds have stopped. Reflective, like a mirror, and clear, like glass. Let us recall the white object we saw just now, the shawl, the shirts, even the wall of white. Appreciating the whiteness. All these are my Dhamma friends, the clothing of my Dhamma friends, the color of the wall of this Dhamma hall. White, white, white. Let this white color spread like diffusion outwards across the whole room, and let it spread beyond the room. White color across the whole neighborhood. White, white, in all directions, behind, in front, to the left, to the right, and the directions in between, like a circle outwards, above, below, 3D. Allow the white to spread beyond the neighborhood, across the whole Southeast Asia and its airspace and the ground below, across the whole world and the heavens. Let the white color, together with the mind, expand into space, letting go of even the earth. White, white, white. Using the word white to trigger the impression of actual whiteness. White, white. Across the whole universe. Three-dimensional, infinite, endless, limitless, far and beyond the mind, and allow the mind to travel with the whiteness. Let the mind expand across the limitless universe. White, white. Sometimes the mind feels strained. Let us relax it. White, white. Sometimes we daydream. Let us recall, where's the mind? And let it be white, white, white. Let the mind always remain respectful, humble, accepting, contented with the whiteness. White, white, white. Holding the white, limitless space, let the mind settle on the whiteness in front. White, white, white. Let the mind appreciate the whiteness in front. White, white. Silently using the word white. White, white. Use only as many times you need to keep the mind on white. Sometimes we need it to be more frequent. Sometimes we like to slow it down. White, white. Keeping the mind balanced. Neither too energetic nor too relaxed. Just inspired, joyful, white, white, privileged, white, white. When the mind is lazy, where's the mind? Bring it back to the white. When it is agitated, relax it a little bit more. Slow down. White, white. And let us stay on the whiteness until time is up. So that is the method for Kasina. I'll be, of course, very happy if any of you here, just 20 minutes, you're actually really happy with the Kasina and not much wandering thought. But I don't expect that. Kasina is not easy. Although it's very relaxing, but to have the mind expanding very bright, not so easy. Yeah. But how's your practice? Anyone have any questions? Yes. Ginny. Oh. Okay. Maybe Ginny first, then yeah. Yeah.
I try to visualize white. Then in front of me is this textured wall. Then roses, white roses. Then for a while I can keep this. But when I try to expand to the universe, the natural, space like sky and so on, it sort of, comes in. So I try to focus again to be white. Then it actually brings me to, other countries like the Roman, pillar, with images, it's not just white. It's not like a blank paper, but there are images. And occasionally, I have this colors, yellow and quite dominant, it keeps coming in and, in and fade, for a while. Yeah, that is my experience.
Okay. Was it a happy experience?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I would say it's good. Yeah. When there is some concentration, it's natural to have color light. It's not from the environment, it's just the workings of the mind. So, but still ignore the Roman pillars, ignore the roses. When the mind is very relaxed, all these very subconscious things can arise. But as long as we hold the respect for the Dhamma, all these are okay. Don't need to repel them also. You just be very happy with the white. White roses, you focus on the white. White pillars, you focus on the white. Then white golds, okay, focus on the white. Also can. Then white paper, also the white. White textured wall, also the white. Then gradually all this texture of the mind, if you don't care about them, they also will arise less and less. If you start to criticize your meditation, then they'll arise more and more. Yeah, so you just don't care and just stay with it. Expanding to the whole universe is not so easy. So usually in traditional teaching, we cut a disc out. I notice my friends, when they practice, they have a plate, take from the kitchen, they just put in front, they put something there and then they just use the disc. And then they expand 1 inch by 1 inch by 1 inch. Yeah. So you can expand bit by bit. That's so I think you may be suitable for white Casina. Yeah, okay. Thank you. But you can see meditation practice depends on the mood. Sometimes our mood not so good, you find that you cannot practice very well. Don't give up. The mind is impermanent one. But if you practice more and more, then when the mind is very wieldy, even in bad mood, you meditate, your mood becomes good. So that's the workings of the mind. Thank you. Yeah.
My question is, I'm very new to Kasina meditation. I mean, I've heard of it and all that, but I don't really practice it. I usually do awareness of the body and then the breath. So what's in it for me to try it out? Like, when would I think that, okay, maybe today I should use that? And then my second question pertains to your experience as like a geriatric doctor. Like, with aging, how would you recommend someone changes their meditation method, or to deal with the arising discomforts of the body as the body starts to degenerate? Like, do you have experiences with, some of those older generation meditators who have good experiences that they shared? Yeah, thank you.
So there is no need to change our object. If you're very happy with breath, just do breath, Then Casina, okay, what's the application of Casina? Water Casina is very peaceful. So if you find your mind is very unhappy or very agitated, water Casina is very useful. Why Casina? The light from the fourth jhana or Kasina, a lot of meditators find that is the best to be used for vipassana. Some people like to practice abhinya, psychic powers. The foundation is Kasina meditation. If you find that you really enjoy very, very peaceful state of mind, and yet you have not realized Nibbana, the Kasina can lead us all the way to immaterial jhana. They are very peaceful, more peaceful than your material jhana. Of course, nothingness is wonderful. Then neither perception nor non-perception, even better. My teacher said that the peace of neither perception or non-perception is 70% of the peace from Nibbana. It's very close to Nibbana, but it is not Nibbana. So Kasina, you can use it for immaterial jhanas, you can use it for abhinya, you can use it for peace, you can use it for the light in order to practice vipassana. Also, all of us have different kind of likings, Some of us like red color. White color we don't like. Then red color gives us happiness. Happiness is the proximate cause for concentration. So that's why Buddha taught us so many kinds of objects. But if you're very happy with breath is also very good. The light from the fourth jhana of breath meditation can also use it very easily for meditation, understanding the five gates and their causes, internal, external, far, near, superior also can and then understand samsara and lead us all the way to understanding the Four Noble Truths. For the breath also can. 32 parts, four elements actually also can. Four elements, when the mind is very, very clear and very, very dynamic, that's that light. You can also use it to apply on five gates and their causes and realize Nibbana. But because the concentration from four elements is not as deep as breath or white color and all that, it's more difficult to sustain. So there is no hard and fast rule because all beings are constituted differently. So when we practice meditation, we just know which one is suitable for ourselves. The second question about aging. So how do we use meditation to help, right? Samatha practice is very useful for stress management, especially if you have been practicing regularly. When we age, there can be changes that you don't expect, and then it can cause you frustration and can cause you a feeling of helplessness, losing control. Can also cause physical pain. You can lose your sleep, not because of anything, but because as we grow older, especially when the hormones start to change, we don't sleep so deeply. Yeah. And also because of the biological changes, our memory not so good. And if you still think like you want to be as energetic as young people, you'll be disappointed and then you can't help it but to blame yourself. Of course you shouldn't, but I mean we know, but we still, okay? So stress management is important. Samatha meditation is very useful for stress management, especially if you practice it regularly. But because death is inevitable, and as long as we are not an arahant, rebirth is inevitable. Okay? And the rebirth is almost unknown. We cannot predict where we will be. We can only invest in good karma. So meditation is good karma. It's even better than dana or sila. So with meditation as good karma, then we increase the chance that we continue to be reborn in a good place. A good place is human realm or heavenly realm. But a good place, so what? Because life is so unpredictable. Maybe you're reborn as a human, but some unwholesome karma ripen. Then as a human, you have childhood trauma, youth trauma, adult trauma, old age trauma. Mind is very unhappy. Then you can go down to ghost and animal realm again, right? So it's important for us to cultivate the causes to encounter the Dhamma, as well as to practice smoothly when we encounter the Dhamma. And what is this? The determination when we practice good karma to be reborn in a good place with the Dhamma, but also polishing our character, Don't be so harsh. Also cannot be so lazy. Cannot be impatient. Must have determination. Completely honest. Totally truthful. Full of metta. Equanimous. Virtuous. Generous. This is the type of character that is easy to teach. So all the practices in this life, especially towards character building, is not wasted, because for those who recall their past life, they know, this comes continuous one. The story continues, even though the setting is different. The setting changes from one to another drastically because of death, karma, and then drastic. But throughout the whole life, influenced by karma, and the character is a continuous stream. All this good karma and character building towards Nibbana is called parami. Parami is important. Otherwise, all of us will be enlightened by now. I mean, we've been listening to Dhamma for so long, right? So, as we grow older and older, right, our biology starts to change. It originates in the cell, in the biology of aging. So even if we can take certain medication to prolong the longevity of the cell, it will still happen. It's just postponed, So as our biology start to fail, there'll be a lot of stress. You need a form of stress management, okay? And you need to have a sense of meaning of whatever you do in your life. And this sense of meaning is in karma, parami, and the Noble Eightfold Path. So what kind of meditation practice? Any, but consistent. The best is vipassana, but vipassana needs to be founded on samadhi. Otherwise, your vipassana is cursory, not substantial, not home-hitting, not life-changing, easily forgotten after a 9-month sleep.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ng. We have just time for one last question. Is there anyone? Okay. For those who have other further questions, you can approach Dr. Ng later after the talk.
Thank you, Dr. Ng, for your teachings. Just now when I practiced, I was using snow as the white color. So because I saw heavy snow before, it covers the whole city, so I can easier to expand that way. Then when I focus a lump of snow in front of me, I felt quite happy. Then after a while, the heart beats faster, then I feel heat. So at that moment, I was like the body gets a bit tense. So I tried to like slow down I want to press on the brake a bit because I feel not as relaxed as previously. So what to do in such situations? Thank you.
So what you did was correct. Huh? So when we see the whole world full of snow, there's a lot of happiness, right? Then you can be overjoyed. So it's easy to take it as object. But joy, too much of it can cause the mind to be shaking. So we can recall the teaching of the 7 factors of enlightenment, right? Mindfulness give rise to investigation of Dhamma, give rise to joy, give rise to energy, give rise to tranquility, concentration, equanimity. So even though there's a sequence to the 7 factors of enlightenment, there's also a balance to it. Mindfulness at the center, joy, investigation, Dhamma, and effort is one side. Concentration, equanimity, and tranquility is the other side. Too much joy, the mind becomes shaking. The mindfulness is weakened. So we can recall, equanimity, stillness. Concentration also can be translated as stillness. And tranquility. Tranquility is like on a hot day, we go under the shade of a tree. That is tranquility. So when the mind is too much joy, you actually just recall tranquility and so on. Then the mind balance a little bit. And then just snow. But white, not snow. Okay? Let go of the snow, but just white. Don't need to be very fast. White. Okay, then get agitated. You say, white. Also don't need to use a word if you use too much. Just be very, very relaxed. So you did correctly, pressing on the brake.
Thank you very much. I think that was excellent question and we learned so much from Dr. Ng through the answers. So thank you. Let's put our hands together and sadhu 3 times. Sadhu. Thank you so much, Dr. Ng. So we'll now do our closing puja. So let's all get into Anjali again. Dedication of merits. In Anjali, let us invite all sentient beings to participate in our acquired merits. Ettavata cha amhehi Sambatam punya sampadam sabbe dewa anumodantu sabba sampati siddhya ettavata ca amhehi sambatam punya sampadam sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampati siddhya ettavata ca amhehi sambatam punya sampadam sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampati siddhya. Dedication of merits. Let us dedicate the merits of participating in a wholesome Dhamma activity to our departed relatives and friends. Idam me nyatinam hotu sukhita hontu nyatayo. Idam me nyatinam hotu sukhita hontu nyatayo. Idam me nyatinam hotu sukhita hontu nyatayo. End of service dedication. I dedicate the merits which I have accumulated to the cultivation of my mind in order to bring happiness and benefits to all sentient beings. I dedicate the merits to my parents, children, spouse, relatives, friends, colleagues, and my adversaries, wishing them long life, good health, happiness, and prosperity. May we never part from the triple gem, and may we always walk the path towards enlightenment. Closing homage. Let us pay respects to the triple gem. Arahang Samma Sambuddho Bhagava Buddhang Bhagavantam Abhivademi. First bow. Swagato Bhagavata Dhammo Dhammang Namasami. Second bow. Supatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Sangham Namami. Third bow. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you, everyone. See you next Sunday.